Artistic Director of the Bronx Music Center, Heritage Center, and the Bronx Music Hall, the lovely, the one and only Elena Martinez. This is the first live show that we have in 14 months. Hello also to everybody who's out there looking through live streaming. You are in the amphitheater of the Bronx Music Hall, which is inside, which in a few months will be opened up. There'll be 250-seat theater, and the seats will be retractable, so we could have up to 500 people there dancing like in the old days, like at the Hunts Point Palace, the Concourse Plaza Hotel, the Savoy Manor Ballroom. So we have many, many things coming up, like we're going to have Palladium Mambo Dance Nights with some of the greatest big bands in the world of salsa and Latin jazz. Jazz concerts are there, world music concerts, etc., lectures, movie screenings, panel discussions, all the things that we do now at the small space that we have, the Bronx Music Heritage Center, which is an art gallery space at 1303 Louis IX Boulevard. All right. So today's program is very fascinating because it represents a little-known community that is here in the Bronx, but has made an impact with their culture, their music worldwide. So to tell you all about it, Elena Martinez.
Everyone, once again, Bobby Sanabria. And first, a little bit of housekeeping. We want to just give a shout out to our funders, the Bronx Music Heritage Center. The programming that we do at the BMHC and now through the BMH are supported in part by the National Endowment for the Arts, especially for this program today. The New York State Council on the Arts with the support of the New York State Legislature, public fund from the Public fund from the New York Department of Cultural Affairs in partnership with the City Council, the Lily Auchincloss Foundation, and the Laurie M. Tisch Illumination Fund. We also want to make sure, let everyone know that today happens. This is, as Bobby mentioned, this is our first event, a live event with an audience in over a year. We've done a lot of stuff on Facebook that you might have seen throughout the year, but it's our first live event with an audience. To make this happen, we want to thank all the people who have made this happen. Our staff, Lynn Mold, who you met at the door, Jorge Vasquez and Berta Hotar, who do our work for us on all our video and social media. The great volunteers we have today. Nancy Biberman is here, our founder of WEDCO, whose vision the Bronx Music Hall is with her husband, Roger. And one of our BMHC Advisory Board members, Christine Licata, are also at the front door. We want to thank them. We want to thank Nate Maldonado and 3XD Entertainment on sound, Orville Wright on social media, and Jose Francisco Avila, another advisory board member, which I will introduce shortly. We also want to thank the folks at WEDCO who made this happen. There was a lot of talking about permits, figuring out what permits we have to get, what COVID precautions and everything, what we have to do with the city to make happen. Javon Russell, Rebecca Kramnick, and James Travis, our construction foreman here at the Bronx Music Hall. And also want to give a shout out to the 41st, is it the 41st precinct that's right here? Is this the 41st precinct? They're helping us with a sound permit. Whatever, with the police precinct right here, I should know that. And also City Law for our partner. 42nd, Bobby, right? 42nd, Bobby was right. And then City Law for being our partner in publicity for all these events. So to introduce you, to talk about what's going to be happening today, this is a series we got special funding to the National Endowment of the Arts. When we first put in for this grant, for this series called Masking the Bronx in 2019, we had no idea that in 2020 that we would be living in a world where everyone had to wear masks. We had put into an application to do to celebrate celebrations in different communities that feature masked traditions. So today we're going to be having WANARAGUA from the Garifuna community. And the Garifuna community, one of the largest Garifuna communities outside of Central America, it lives right here in the Bronx. In the next couple months, we're going to see the masked Diablos from the Gaga celebration celebrated in the Dominican Republic. Inti Raymi from the Andean region of South America will be here in June. We'll have a program about that. And in July, we will have Vejigantes from Puerto Rico's Fiesta de Santiago de Loiza Aldea here at the Bronx Music Hall Plaza. So we hope you can come back for those events, and hopefully we'll be doing other ones outdoor as well here. So just to let you know what we're doing today, today's performance is the WANARAGUA, called Mascaro in Spanish, or sometimes called John Canoe or John Canoe in English. It's usually performed around New Year's and Christmas, but we're celebrating it today in honor of the closing of Garifuna Heritage Month. And also the dance, we're going to have some folks come up to talk a little bit about the origins of the dance and the celebration. And it has its origins in actually resistance against British colonialism in the 1700s. So it's really relevant. For what's going on in the world today. So first, I want to welcome up to the stage. Oh, one other thing. Since we are celebrating a masked tradition, and we wanted to put together this program of masked traditions because when people put on masks in celebrations, sometimes they do it to take on new identities, to evoke the ancestors, or to transcend to a sacred space. Today we wear masks to protect ourselves and our neighbors. So keep your mask on and please practice social distancing while you're here, and please enjoy today's program. I want to welcome to the stage right now another one of our advisory board members from the BMHC, Mr. Jose Francisco Avila of the Garifuna Coalition, to talk to us a little bit about the Garifuna Heritage Month.
Thank you, Elena. Hello, Bronxites. It is a pleasure, it is an honor to be here to celebrate Garifuna American Heritage Month. A little background. Garifuna American Heritage Month was actually pronounced right here in the Bronx in 2009. That was under Adolfo Carrion's leadership as Bronx Borough President. In 2010, Borough President Diaz, who's there now, continued it. But not only that, Assemblyman Michael Benjamin introduced it in Albany, so it became a state proclamation, and it has been ever since. So what do we celebrate with Garifuna American Heritage Month? We decided that, to give you a little background, we've been here since the 30s, the Garifunas. We've been traveling here since the 30s. And yet, New York didn't know us until March 25th, 1990, the Happy Land Social Club fire. Most of the victims were from Garifuna descent. And it was then that New York was wondering, who are these people? How long have they been here? So that's the background, why we decided to do Garifuna American Heritage Month, to declare it. So we took advantage of that, and we decided that we also need to celebrate our history, our heritage. So it starts in March 11, and it ends on April the 12th. Why? I'm sure you're going to hear more about that, so I'm just going to give you a brief history. It has to do with the fact that on March 11, 1797, about approximately 2,200 of our ancestors were loaded by the British into ships and sent to the ocean. And a month later, which is going to be Monday, April the 12th, the ships arrived in an island called Roatan, which was it's right in front of Honduras, but it was a British colony. Honduras had already been colonized by the Spanish. So that's why we celebrate Garifuna American Heritage Month from March 11 to April the 12th. And as I said, it has been going on for the past 12 years. So that's why when Elena invited me, I said, I'll be glad to tell you a little bit of the background. But that's the history. Since then, we have made a whole lot of progress. And part of that progress is exactly the reason why I'm here. I was telling Elena, I was invited to a meeting with the architect for this theater. I talked to the business planners. Nancy is there. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for WETCO. We established a partnership with WETCO back in 2013. So that's what, 8 years now? And in 2018, that's when I was appointed as an advisory member of a member of the advisory board. So that's how we developed this relationship, and we have carried on different events ever since. It is a pleasure. It is an honor. Thank you, Elena. Thank you, Bobby, for your support. You're going to, by the way, today, what you're going to watch, it's not just the dance group. It's not just a performance. You're going to watch a masterpiece of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity. the Garifuna culture was proclaimed by UNESCO in 2001 as one of the first 19 cultures recognized as masterpieces of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity. And it was based on the language, it was based on the music, and the dance. So the performance that you're going to see tonight, that's exactly what it is. And again, Elena, Bobby, thank you very much for the opportunity. Wabafu, thank you for making us proud.
Thank you, Jose Francisco Avila from the Garifuna Coalition. So now I want to welcome up to the stage from Wabafu. First, I want to invite Professor Wellington Ramos, who's going to tell us a little bit more about the Garifuna culture. And we have Wabafu Garifuna Dance Theater is going to be performing. Directed by Catherine Otun Solis. We want to thank her for helping us get the program together. Shout out to Catherine. And also, we're going to invite to the stage Luz Solis Ramos, who's the founder of the Wabafu Garifuna Dance Theater, which was founded in 1992, the oldest Garifuna dance ensemble here in New York City. And Luz comes from Trujillo, Colon in Honduras and has been in the United States here for many decades and teaches right across the street at Boricua College. And she was one of the people we gave a Bronx Living Legend Award to 2 years ago for her work that she does for the language and culture of the Garifuna people in the Bronx. So please welcome Professor Ramos and Luz Solis Ramos.
Good evening, good evening. First of all, I would like to thank the Bronx Heritage Center for giving us the opportunity to do this performance for you all today. But before I get into the history of WANARAGUA, I must share a few things with you. The month of March and the month of April are two memorial months for the Garifuna people. Why? Because it was on March 11th that we lost the war to the British in 1795. And our king was killed by the name of Joseph Châteaubriand. After he was killed, many of our people were removed from the land where they lived into the northern part of St. Vincent. And there's where, if you listen to the news today, the volcano is erupting. So our people were put in harm's way. People are being removed as we speak to avoid a massive explosion to cause casualties. Our people have been removed since then. We were removed from our country, which was Urume, given the name St. Vincent, to an island, Balisao, where our people were tortured, killed, and buried. On March 11th of 1797, despite the British conquering our people, we were still fighting the British. We were removed from Balisao to Rotan, Honduras. And from Rotan, Honduras, we moved to Belize, Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala, and the United States. We are a people that are very resilient. We are very loving. We are very caring. We just want to be left alone so that we can live our lives the way we see it fit. Despite the removal, we still maintain our language, our religion, and our culture. We are very proud people. Nothing is going to stop us. We are going to keep this culture alive. Let us talk about WANARAGUA. WANARAGUA is one of the Garifuna mask dance that originated out of West Africa. When I studied history years ago by a renowned anthropologist who did his doctorate degree in Lagos, Nigeria, he said that before some African people were removed from West Africa to come to this part of this world as slaves, there was a ceremony that was given to a white person by the name of John Canoe. And this was a sad ceremony because these people were going to leave their homeland to come to this part of the world to become slaves. When they landed in this part of the world, they remembered this ceremony that was taking place before they departed. So, in order to mock this gentleman, they created this mask with a white face and blue-green eyes. But WANARAGUA is not only a Garifuna dance. It is a dance that is common throughout the entire Caribbean and with other ethnic groups in Africa. We have several dances in the Garifuna culture, which you will see some of the dances today. And the Garifuna people came before slavery came to America, because we know through history and documents that there was a king from Africa by the name of Abu Bakr who made a ceremony with a group of 1,000 ships he brought to this part of the world, and he never returned back to Africa. When he left, he made his brother king, Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa is the richest king ever in the entire world. There has never been anybody richer than Mansa Musa. The history that has been written is false history. So what we are going to do, we are going to tell our story the way it should be told and the way it is. Don't let the conqueror write your story. You must write your own story and dismiss what the conqueror said. Without any further ado, I recommend the best dance company in New York City, the Wabafu Dance Company. Give them a big round of applause.
that is exciting. That is the one dance that is danced all over the world with different names. We call it WANARAGUA in Garifuna, although WANARAGUA means mask, so it's a mask dance. The elders call it Maladi. Maladi is another classical name for WANARAGUA dance, because it does require a lot of energy, vitality, a lot of footwork, and the drummer, when you notice, he creates the rhythm for the dancer creates the rhythm for the drummer. So he follows, the drummer follows the footsteps of the dancer to create this wonderful music you're about to hear. Garifuna, as Mr. Jose Francisco Avila said earlier, and Professor Wellington Ramos, originated in the island of St. Vincent. The Garinagu were there before Columbus came, and that's another story for another day. But there were black people traveling to the Americas around the world before Christopher Columbus discovered his new world. However, these Garinagu, they live in the Bronx. We have beautiful things happening in the Bronx. So in this moment, I want to present to you this wonderful dance. I hope you tap your feet as you go along. WANARAGUA dancers. Wabafu Garifuna Dance Theater. Kemolav. have to be less than 99 years old to be able to do it. At this moment, I want to explain a little bit about the costume. This is Clifford, and he's one of the main dancers that invite each one to dance so that you have order. So there's order behind this whole thing. That's why you see him with the maraca. He's inviting each dancer to go and create his steps. They all create their own steps. WANARAGUA steps are universal within the Garifuna community throughout the Caribbean, Central America as well. But then you get the opportunity to create your steps. And then the drummer never knows what steps you're going to do. That's the amazing part of this dance. So that's the time that the drummer realizes there are tricks in here, so they have to pay a lot of attention to the footwork of the drummer to give all the breaks that he does. So here you're going to see, I'm going to start with the Yahweh. We call them Yahweh. They're seashells. And at a certain time in the shores of Central America, the sea brings these shells, and you get the opportunity to pick them, and the drummers makes the seashell. But this dance came all the way from Yurume. Yurume is the indigenous name for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And so in different parts of the world, if your history or your tradition uses that, so people use different things. Sometimes they're little calabash or bells, somehow, to create that sound. So our people use it during the time in St. Vincent. And then the skirt, they're all male dancers, by the way. But they created this dance in St. Vincent because we were told by the elders that during the war with the British, our men was being eliminated. So the women had to dress the men in skirt, and then the seashell helped to divert the enemy to a different direction, even though this was part of the custom. But shaking the shells, diverted the enemy somewhere else because it creates a sound that you don't know where it's coming from. It's coming this way or that way. So, and then WANARAGUA is usually done during festivals in Honduras, during Christmas Day or Christmas or New Year's Day. So it's very colorful. You're going to find WANARAGUA in Central America very colorful. I'm sure in the Caribbean it's the same way. They call it junk canoe, right? So you see the ribbons because he's imitating a very colorful bird that is in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So the ribbons are colorful, and his arms are usually open because he's imitating the wings of this bird. The mask is the mysterious part because you're not supposed to know who's dancing. So his whole body is covered. He has gloves. He has tights. So you're not supposed to tell who's creating this dance. It's very mysterious. The mask, of course, and the headpiece represent elegance, kingship. In the Yurume, the people had a king named Chief Joseph Satuje. He was the paramount chief for all the different islands, including St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and we spoke that. They all spoke the Garifuna language that we speak today. Garifuna people still speak the language that was spoken throughout the Lesser Antilles, perhaps even the Greater Antilles, like Puerto Rico, Santo Domingo, Haiti. They spoke the Arawak language. That's the language that Garifuna speak. That's the language we sing it to you in. So we're still singing in that old language that was in the Caribbean before Columbus came, all right? So this is rich culture. I want you to give a round of applause to Cliff for being such a great model. Oh, I forgot to tell you, the shield, we were in war, so you have to shield yourself against the enemy. Normally, the other WANARAGUA dancers, you notice they had somebody's helping me. The sword or even the staff, right, which helps you to defend yourself against the enemy. So, and then, we embrace the Christian culture. So the youngsters, when they did this shield, they put the cross there because, we have that cross culture, the Garifuna and the Christian. And the maraca is a healing, very important. All right, thank you so much. Thank you, Cliff. He's going to dance and show you how he marks his steps. Thank you. Chuchu. That was Chumba dance. And we want you to see a little more of the masked WANARAGUA dance. With you, Young Canoe, Maladi, Kemolabo. Epa! That's Maladi. Yes. Young Canoe. Yes. Maladi, Maladi. Viva Garifuna. WANARAGUA tele. Kemolabo. Yes. grand finale. All right, drummers, let's hear it. And then, my dear audience, you're going to get a chance to come up and draw your pattern, create your steps. Yes. In a few. All right, my dear people, this one is for you. Please don't be shy. So you're invited to do your chumba or punta. You saw the girls give the break. You saw the WANARAGUA give the break. However you feel it inside, manifest it physically and just enjoy. All right, so this moment is for the audience. If the dancers go to you to come up, please, you can come up here or right here and dance. Garinagu, I want to see some of you dancing here. Mr. Mol, yes? Young Canoe. This is chumba for everyone. Yeah? Punta. They requested punta. Punta, you really have to move the hips, okay? Don't worry. They'll show you. Yes, this is for everybody. Enjoy yourself. Got this and soon. Let's hear you. Let's see you. Epa! Dance it off, dance it off. It's very therapeutic. It's good for your body. Para todos, son carinos. Sereme guayun. Sergio Inés. Hija Popina. No puedes esconderte. Thank you, Mr. Avila. Mándala. Thank you, everyone. We love you. Choo-choo. Listen, make a Garifuna mouth. Choo. Thank you so much. Bronx Music Heritage Center. Thank you so much, and we bless every single year and moment that you're going to be here. The structure that is about to open soon for the Bronx. We love you very much. We love every audience. Elena, Bobby, thank you so much for this moment. Bronx! You're here. I'm going to say Aruchuchu. You're going to say Acha. Aruchuchu. Acha. Thank you. It's awesome. Jose Francisco Avila, thank you very much.
Everyone, a big round of applause for Catherine Ochun Solis and Luz Solis and Wabafu Garifuna Dance Theater. And we want to thank you all for coming out. Our premiere. They were our premiere program for this plaza, for the upcoming Bronx Music Hall. Catherine Ochun Solis, for the programming that we'll be doing here.
Bueno, muchísimas gracias.